Hey guys, Colin here at the Deep Tissue Massage Center to show you how to activate your deep core muscles that help to stabilize the low back. Now, this is not your rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles that are more superficial. This is much deeper, and what it does is it wraps all the way around and attaches into the vertebrae of your spine. And this is called the transverse abdominis. So we want to get this to fire because it holds your spine stable. So if you've got back problems, this is a must-do exercise. This is part of a bigger group of exercises that were created by a guy named Eric Goodman called Foundation Training. I'm just showing you the first and most basic exercise. It's kind of his main exercise that he gives to people. And I'm going to guide you on the little cues that are super important so that you're doing it right. Because if you were to look them up on YouTube, they go through it very fast and you miss some of those little things. So in order to do this, what I'm going to show you kind of at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to stand here. You're going to have your feet about shoulder width apart. And what you're going to do is bend your knees just a little bit. And you're going to start to stick your butt out. Now, as you stick your butt out, at a certain point, you're going to start to feel like you're going to fall backwards. And the first thing you'll notice is your toes will want to come up off the ground. Now, that's totally natural. And we actually want you to be in a position where most of your weight is on your heels. So you're going to stick that butt out. You're hinging from the hips here. There's no rounding of the back in this exercise. It's just from the hips. And you're sticking the hips back far enough that you feel like your weight's primarily on your heels. Now, once you're in that position, what I'm going to have you do is open your arms up like this. Now, notice, I'll show you from the front, I'm turning my hands up and out. So I'm in this position and I'm pulling my shoulder blades together. This is the beginning position before you go into the actual exercise that gets the deep core to really fire. But this position, what it does is it really opens up your chest and it really helps a lot with your posture. So when you're doing this, in this position, you want to have your chin even with parallel with the floor. You want to have your hands back. You want to be squeezing those shoulder blades together a little bit. And from this position, now what you're going to do is you're going to turn your palms inward and you're going to bring them upward in front of you like you're holding a ball in your hand. So you can even put your fingertips together like this, and you're going to lift them up, lift the arms up in front of you. You can have a little bit of a bend in there, that's fine. A little bend in the knees. Remember, weight back on the heels in this position. And you want to bring this up pretty high so that you start to feel some compression in your low back. That gets those erector muscles in the low back to really fire. And notice with this, I'm just bringing my fingertips together. I'm not bringing my elbows together at all. I'm keeping it in this position here. And you're going to bring your hands into that position and you're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. What I want you to also focus on is elongating your spine. So you're in this position, the butt's sticking back, but think about the hands as really reaching forward as far as you can get them to go. And that'll help to stretch out your spine and decompress it. In this position, you're activating the deep core muscles that I talked about, the transverse abdominis. And you're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and that's a great starting spot. So you can do it for 30 seconds, and then you can bring your arms back into that beginning position with the palms turned outward again, and you can go back up into it. The real idea here is that you want to work your way into being able to hold this for a longer period of time. So starting with 30 seconds is great. Then you work your way up to about a minute, and then you work your way up to a couple of minutes. And you will feel that your abdominal muscles are doing a lot of work. One thing that can also help with this, when you're in that position where you're holding the ball, pull your belly button in toward your spine just a little bit, like you're just sucking in a tiny bit. And that'll help to activate those deep core muscles as well. So this is a wonderful, wonderful exercise. It takes literally just a few minutes to do. And once that core is activated, it tends to stay on throughout the course of your day. So if you do this in the morning, your whole body will function much better throughout the rest of the day. When those deep core muscles aren't firing, what happens is then your low back muscles have to do a lot more work to hold up the weight of your body, especially if you're doing any work where you're leaning forward, which tends to be what we do with a lot of desk work. So these muscles will get activated if you do this in the morning. I would recommend doing it a couple times a day, morning, evening, especially if you're having back problems. But at least get it in once a day, and you'll be pretty amazed at how much stronger your overall body can get.